Good morning. It is wonderful having you here with us. Thank you for joining us in this journey that we are on, a journey into understanding and connecting with the amazing power of compassion. Part of that capacity for transformation within the human soul. So, as you join us in this journey, I invite you to reach deep within and let yourself experience the power of that compassion for you, the love for you. For we know, as that divine knows, you are a magnificent child of God. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, Unity. Please stand and join me. Come together, heart and soul, as we love together. Young and old, we will sing together. From different worlds we are drawn together. In our own way we will pray together. Together we are strong. I see God in you. God in me, one path, one vision, one family. Come together, dreams and hands, and we'll join together to build a place we can grow together. Together we are whole. I see God in you. You see God in me. One path, one vision, one family. Soul, as we love together, young and old, we will sing together, together in one song, together in one song, together in one song. More to come. surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see love, I see freedom. I see the beauty that shines in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace. I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom. I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel God in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I choose joy, I choose peace. I choose goodness surrounding me. I choose love in every breath I breathe. I choose God in everything. I choose happiness, I choose freedom. I choose beauty that lives in me. I choose perfection in what I bring. I choose God in everything. I know joy, I know peace. I know the goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I choose God in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection in what life brings. I know God in everything. I know God in everything.
Thank you, Mitch, for leading our songs today. Yeah, and fusion. Awesome. And we have a very special treat, our Ronnie Ong with us. She always opens my heart. Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. I'm David MacArthur, and I'm one of your ministers that gets to play in this wonderful place. What fun. And so if you're new to Unity, just a very special invitation as you join us on this positive path for spiritual living, and invite you to just know that you are deeply appreciated, and there's that special thing that happens as hearts open and this spiritual presence and power reaches through and lifts all of us into that new place of understanding. We have a special experience today. Over the last weeks, we have been exploring the experience of compassion. We made that commitment that this would be a year of compassion, and that as a spiritual community, we would deepen in that ability to get to that place of compassion for each other and for ourselves. And a couple weeks ago, Reverend Sheila got to share with you part of her understanding on that journey. And last Sunday, I got to share with you. And I wanted to share with you a very special person in our community, Ron Salazar, who is our licensed Unity teacher. And in that path, what happens is there's that opportunity to learn at depth this deep spiritual knowledge that has blossomed into what we call the Unity movement. And Ron has been so in touch with that in his journey into that licensed Unity teacher experience that we really wanted to be able to hear that from him. So Ron is going to be our special guest speaker today. So thank you for doing that for us. And now we begin this part of our service where we enter into a time of prayer and meditation. And as we journey in, we'll touch music. We will touch prayer in different ways. We'll spend a time in the silence. But we begin with that beautiful experience of affirmative prayer, of awakening ourselves to the awareness of this divine presence. So please join me in our opening affirmation. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And it is this presence and power that expands our awareness to know its goodness. Again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Feeling that goodness, filled with its presence. And once again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And as we grow ever more conscious of that love, as we let it breathe us and breathe through us, we know that its blessing flows out to bless everyone in this room and beyond this room, to travel forth to bless and uplift this world in which we live. And for that beautiful truth, we are grateful. Amen. So in journeying deeper into our experience of prayer, I invite you to join Mitch in our next song.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that never could be said, and I hear in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself, I find God, I find myself.
Follow that deep breath into your heart as you release opening And we're going to ask Barbara to come up and share with us a blessing as we join in this guidance from our heart ministers in blessing this world around us.
Prayer for peace in the midst of the storms. Father, Mother God, with open hearts and deep compassion, we extend our prayers of peace and calm in the midst of the storms moving across the eastern coast of our nation. The presence of God watches over every man, woman, child, and animal impacted by nature's majestic outpouring, keeping them safe and warm as they stand in faith in the protective power of your love. We trust that help and support comes their way, and the care and comfort continually blesses them through this challenge. God's love enfolds them and keeps them safe from harm. God's light directs their path to places of safety. God is the restorative power that renews and revitalizes all difficulties. We hold you in the safe harbor of our hearts, knowing that all is well. We love you, we bless you, and we behold the presence of God right there, right now, and so it is. Amen.
Again, that deep breath through the heart. As we turn inward on that inner journey, I invite you to let the music be part of that experience of entry into the very center of your heart. Breathe in this divine love. Breathing out and letting go. Releasing, being open. Breathing in this infinite wisdom. Breathing out. Resting at peace. Mother, Father, God. Infinite love. Beloved presence. We're grateful that you have brought us here to awaken us more deeply to your presence. In this simple experience of awareness of your love, we awaken to see you in all things. We find your power and beauty as mountain. We hear your presence in the crash of waves and the song of a bird. We feel your gentleness in the touch of morning breeze. We experience your care in the touch of a friend's hand, in a gentle word, in a smile. Your love flows through us as our presence, our compassion. For in every moment, we are blessed and we are a blessing. In this moment, we are blessed and we are a blessing. We are one with this infinite love. We are one with this power of compassion. we enter into that beautiful place of inner peace. For we know that all things in our lives are in your care. And so we let our minds quiet. And we simply breathe that beautiful feeling of serenity. From this quiet place within, we surrender to that stillness. We follow that direction of the Master. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Resting in sacred stillness, at one with the one. Peace, be. Gently breathing this feeling of love in and out through our hearts. Mother, Father God, we acknowledge that you are love, you are this power, you are this presence. And we are grateful that we have the power to send it forth to heal and to bless. And so we take this moment and we send this beautiful power of love, this radiant presence into every cell and system in our bodies, raising them into their highest, raising them into wholeness, vibrant energy, pure life purpose. This radiant love fills our beings, attuning us to that understanding and wisdom that you are in every moment. This radiant love flows through our hearts as we bless each one dear to us. We hold them in this light. We celebrate the light that each one is. We know your wholeness in their life as wisdom and health, peace and prosperity. Gratefully, this divine love flows through our hearts. We send it across the spiritual community, blessing each one and flowing through their lives to bless everyone in their lives. We embrace every prayer request brought here. And we know with each you are enfolded in divine love, and you are lifted to that which is the highest. And this love flows through our hearts. It flows out from this simple place as waves of blessing across the communities which we live, across our nation and on to bless the peoples of the world, calling forth peace and wisdom in all. And this divine love flows through our hearts as we join with all who join us in prayer, whether in mosque or synagogue, temple or church, whether gathered at home or on the hillsides. For in seeking to know you, we are all one. And this divine love flows through our hearts. We send it to this beautiful earth, that it might bring balance to all her systems, calm where there's storm, rain where it is dry, blessing to all her creatures. And this beautiful love, as we breathe it through our hearts, we send it about the earth, that it might touch the heart of every single person in the earth. For beloved presence, you are that love in every heart. And in this love, we are one. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please join me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world, radiating that beautiful love. Again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Grateful for its transforming power. Once again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world.
Breathe, breathe, breathe.
And with every breath, we breathe that deep gratitude. We are so grateful, beloved presence. Amen.
It's like the air around me. It's like the sunshine on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted and all I ever needed is already there. Closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air. And I breathe in, and I'm filled with the Spirit. It is health to my body, peace to my mind. It is joy to my soul. And I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that we're singing all along, that we're singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunshine on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted and all I ever needed is already there, closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air.
Ronnie, thank you. We are so blessed by you being here, your amazing talent. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? Fabulous. The rain has subsided. We're going to have sunshine today. I see it already outside. So you're going to go outside and play? Yes, yes, yes. So my name is Linda Stevens, and it's my joy and pleasure to be here with you this morning. I'm going to bring up a couple of things that are things for you to think about and participate in, but there's a lot more in your bulletin and online, so be sure and check out to see what all is going on. Please join Reverend Sheila this afternoon for Unity Connection class. This is a very special one-time class, and it's going to focus on discovering the meaning of our focus this year, which is compassion. And Sheila, what time is that? 4 o'clock this afternoon, here in the sanctuary or back in the back? Okay. Bookstore. Aha! So I hope that you can make that. Now we have a new class that's starting the fourth Wednesday of each month, and it's all about how to improve your health and wellness holistically at any age with Holly Reese. And it's designed to teach mind, body, and spirit wellness techniques and to improve lifestyle information with improving one's health. Now, next Sunday, we're going to have a very special guest, and some of you may be familiar with Dr. Brenda Wade. Her workshop here on creating sacred relationships is all designed about getting to the root of relationship conflicts. Dr. Wade is a regular guest and expert on Dr. Oz, and she appears on Oprah and Good Morning America. She'll be here, the speaker for the 9:30 and the 11:30 services next week. Now, it's time for you to stand up and tell your neighbors good morning until you hear the gong.
Please remain standing and help me sing this song. I'm stepping out into a world of possibility. I'm stepping out into a whole new way to live. There's so much waiting for me. Path is clear before me. I've got so much that I have yet to give. I'm stepping out and I'm committing to integrity. I'm stepping out, releasing every fear and doubt. The road just keeps on learning, and I just keep on learning. I'm learning what this life is all about. And out into a world of possibility. I'm stepping out into a whole new way to live. There's so much waiting for me. The path is clear before me. I've got so much that I have yet to give. I'm stepping out and I'm committing to integrity. Stepping out, releasing every fear and doubt. The road just keeps on turning, but every turn I'm learning what this life is all about. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out.
really cool. So I'm sitting in the corner over here thinking, Ron, don't get caught up in the fun. You got a job to do. Because you guys are family, you know? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It really is a pleasure to be up here speaking with you this morning. So as David said earlier, we've been speaking about compassion for the past couple of weeks, and I get the joy of speaking for the third week in a row on compassion. And a couple weeks ago, Sheila left us with a spiritual focus of, I live each day with a compassionate heart. And she spoke about how when we're compassionate with somebody, that we don't crawl down into the pit with them, right? We hold the ladder to pull them out, or help them out. David spoke last week and left us with a spiritual focus of, I hold you in the compassion of my heart. And he spoke about how the masters, the spiritual masters through time, have held this belief and spoke about compassion in the way we've heard so far. And so I would like to speak about how Charles and Myrtle Fillmore saw compassion. Now, if you don't know, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were the co-founders of Unity. Charles was the scientist, and Myrtle was the heart. That's how I see it. So I'm going to start off with the spiritual focus this week. And the spiritual focus is, I am compassion. Can you say that with me? I am compassion. Yeah, so if you don't get that, I hope by the end of this talk, you will get it. Okay? So I'm going to start off with a quote from Charles. And he says that human compassion, a characteristic of love and mercy promoted by an understanding heart, a compassion mind sees the error but does not condemn. Right? So, since Charles says compassion is part of love, right, then compassion is when we are compassionate or compassion with somebody, then we are using our spiritual power of love. Right? Now, love is one of the 12 powers. And if you don't know what the 12 powers is, the 12 powers are the expression of divine spirit. It is our 12 spiritual abilities to express individually that divine spirit that is within us and all around us. Okay? So Unity says that the definition of power of love is the attracting, harmonizing, unifying faculty of the mind. It is the constructive building force of spirit. It is our power to comprehend oneness. Right? So when you feel love for somebody, there's a peace, right? And you feel the energy from that other person. Even if they can't give it back, there's an energy that you feel. This is what the power of love does for us. Charles goes on and says, love is an inner quality that sees good everywhere and in everybody. It insists that all is good, and by refusing to see anything but good, it causes that quality finally to appear in the uppermost in itself and in all things. I personally experienced this when there was a loved one in my life when it became apparent that their lifestyle had to change. And I was correct, right? It really needed to change. And so I went compassionately to this person and spoke about this. And I met with resistance. And then the discussion turned into an argument. And then I left because I was irritated. And this happened a few times. And then I realized that I was coming to her with a judgment that I'm right. Okay? And even though I was right, I let that judgment get in the way of my compassion for this person. And so when I let go of the right to be right, anybody get that with me? Right to be right? I was able to hear and see the other person without those human blocks that we get that keep us from expressing the spiritualness of who we are. Right? And then I got to see that person, and then she was able to express the fears and the loss that she felt about this life change. Right? And so, one of the things about the 12 powers is you can't use one power without another one or two. Has anybody ever experienced giving love without any thought or reason behind it? Right? We call that blind love. Right? Anybody experience that and how'd that work out for you? Right? So one of the powers we use with the power of love is called judgment and wisdom. And the definition of judgment, the power of judgment and wisdom, is informed by a spiritual understanding. It is the faculty by which we appraise, evaluate, and discern in order to make correct decisions. Okay? So when I was able to see that my judgment of being right was getting in the way, I was able to let that go. And so I used the judgment, the power of judgment and the power of love together. And let me tell you, the situation is working out really, really well now. So, Paul expresses this really well in Romans 12:2. Do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may discern what is the will of God. Right? So a couple weeks ago, when Reverend Sheila was talking about not getting in the pit, this is how we don't get in the pit. By bringing judgment, spiritual judgment, and spiritual wisdom with our love, so we can stay out of the pit and hold the ladder. You with me? Yes. Cool. So here's another really cool part about compassion, that there's a teaching component to compassion. All right? So when we're compassionate with people, right? So you ever heard the story of giving a man a fish and so he won't go hungry, but if you teach him how to fish, he'll never go hungry again? Well, that's being compassionate, right? You see a hungry person, you give them food, right? But if you teach them how to grow food or teach them how to fish, they won't go hungry, right? It's like teaching a youngster. When you want them to get an A on the test on their math test, and you give them the answer to 8 times 8 is 64, you give them the answer. But if you sit down and explain why 8 times 8 is 64, he might become an astrophysicist. Yeah? So that's the teaching component. Jesus talks to us about this when he tells the parable about the woman who's just about to be stoned in the temple because she committed adultery. And Jesus asks the question, is there anyone here without sin? Let him be the first to cast a stone. Everybody left. Right? And Jesus then Jesus turned to the woman and said, is there anyone left here to condemn you? And she said, no. And Jesus said, neither do I. Go thy way. But henceforth, sin no more. Right? So Jesus had some empathy and compassion for this person and helped her out of the situation. But then he also taught her to stay away from error thought, so you won't be back here in this situation. Right? So this is what staying in the power of love and the power of judgment while we're in compassion, how we help the world. So this is an upward spiral too, right? So when we're compassionate with people, it gives them a safe place and inspiration to get in touch with themselves, their spiritual selves, so they can be compassionate. And then that turns around to help us to get into a safe place and a compassionate place. And so it spirals up. And this is the gift of compassion. Charles says that love in divine mind is the idea of the universal unity, an expression. It is the power that joins and binds together the universe and everything in it. Love is a harmonizing, constructive power. When it is made effective in consciousness, it converses substance and reconstructs, rebuilds, and restores everyone in his and her world. A wonderful example of this is the story of the World War I Christmas Day truce in 1914, right? When after a day of fighting on Christmas Day, Christmas night, a few German soldiers got out of their trenches and moved towards the Allies and started singing Silent Night and singing Merry Christmas in German. And then the Allies, seeing that the German soldiers didn't have any guns, they got out. And these soldiers met in the middle and exchanged cigarettes and plum pudding as Christmas gifts. And there was even a rumor that a soccer game broke out, right? So what day more expresses love than Christmas? And these soldiers let the power of love come forth and express through them, and were able to, in the middle of the war, because the war didn't stop for another 4 years and millions of people were killed after that. But that moment, the power of love took over. And that's what we are capable of. Merleau says, for you, it is for the purpose of expressing your God, given faculties and power to the end that you may manifest the divine ideas God has implanted and the perfect pattern for his Son. Okay, so this is Sunday, and I'm up here and I'm going to teach you a lesson. That lesson is you have a responsibility. And that responsibility is a spiritual responsibility. That responsibility is to be your individual expression of the divine spirit within you. Right? It's your responsibility to be your divine expression of divine spirit within you. And when you do that, you not only live in your Christ self, your higher self, but you are able to do that for other people. Reverend Sheila said a couple weeks ago that we're in a special time zone on our planet here. And this is how we move love forward, is by being who we were meant to be and expressing God through our individual ways. That's the responsibility. The responsibility is be yourself. Just be yourself. Be the love and the judgment and the expression of God. That's how we are compassionate. That's how we are compassionate. Merleau says, think of God as everywhere present. Light, love, peace, power, and life. Think of all men, all women, all children as abiding on God's presence and expressing God's qualities. As you do this, you will touch the reality of individuals and you will invite only the best of them. Spirit will respond as you expect it to, for the Spirit of God is in every person. A few years ago, I was faced with a person in my life that I had to deal with for some time, where she didn't have the ability to express her divinity. At that time in her life, she could only express self-centeredness and anger and attacking. And this went on for a few months, and it got to the point where I literally had hate for her. And I don't hate people. I don't even hate the Patriots. Well, maybe I had to get that in today. Anyways. But when I realized that I had this energy, I started to pray for the good in her, because everybody is good. And so when I started to pray for her, that hateful energy went away. And even today, I can say that I can pray for her out of love. One of the most important situations ever happened to me in my licensed teacher's training. I was in a class with a few people, and the exercise was a person needed to stand in front of the class and put a question to them and hold a discussion. And this question from this young woman was, can you pray for a terrorist? And everyone in that person said yes. Even the woman who lost a personal friend in the attacks on the Twin Towers. It wasn't easy for her, but because she knows that there is good, that everyone is good. I really want to make that clear. We don't have good in us. We are good, right? And so when we hold to these truths, right, this is how we express the divine spirit within us, right? And so if divine spirit is love, and we are divine spirit, then we are love, right? If we are love, if divine spirit is love, then divine spirit is compassion. And if we are divine spirit, we are compassion. I am compassion. You say that with me? I am compassion. And just soak that in. I am compassion. Just let that soak in a little deeper. And one more time. I am compassion. That's the truth. Have a beautiful Sunday.
Ron, thank you. Thank you. We all needed to hear that. Thank you very much. Okay, now's the time to take out those cards in the seat pocket in front of you. They're called connection cards. And I encourage you to take one out, fill it out. Let us know that you were here today. And if you would like to make a prayer request for either support for yourself or for something or someone else, please write that on there. In addition, our heart ministers are available after the service for individual prayer support, and we really encourage you to take advantage of that. You'll find them with the lavender stoles on. Now, our spiritual focus this week is I am compassion. Will you say that every day when you wake up in the morning, before your eyes open? Just take that into your heart. Before you start your morning prayers, just say to yourself, I am compassion, and throughout the day. The ushers will receive your cards with the offering basket. Now it's time for our prosperity celebration. As Unity's co-founder and American mystic, Charles Fillmore said, God is the source of a mighty stream of substance, and you are its tributary, a channel of expression. Blessing the substance increases the flow. So now I encourage you to now take your tithes and your love offering, and with me affirm our prosperity blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we are so grateful. Thank you.
Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mountain high, fix upon it, pound of God's unchanging love. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, to grace how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy goodness, like a fetter, bind my wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, take and seal it for thy courts above. Ooh, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
are walking in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching in the light of God. We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God. All right, embrace these beautiful beings with your heart, and let's share our blessing together. Children, we are loved, special, and important. The light of God shines through you. And let's take hands to share our prayer of protection. Remember, next Sunday we have Dr. Brenda Wade, so if you've got anybody in your world that is working at all on relationships, make sure you bring them. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our peace song.
That was meant to be, with God ever present, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Step I take, let this be my joyous vow. Take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
You are the love, the light, and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun.
People get ready, there's a train a-coming. Don't need no baggage, just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket, just thank the